If you ask Mike Hall what it's like to turn a lifelong obsession into a global TV hit, he'll probably laugh, shake his head, and say something like, "I never thought this would go past one season." Mike, the wild-haired, big-hearted Canadian behind Rust Valley Restorers, wasn't looking for fame when his show took off. He was looking for a way out, a way to stop his family from inheriting a problem so big it stretched across 5 acres. A field of over 500 rusted-out cars, each one a dream Mike had promised himself he'd fix someday. For 50 years, Mike worked not in a garage but on cliffs, running Chimera Springs Rockworks, blasting and stabilizing dangerous slopes across British Columbia. The nickname Rasta Blasta came naturally, as did the money which Mike poured into cars. His collection grew from a teenage hobby into an obsession. By the time the cameras showed up, it wasn't just a backyard project. It was a monument to passion without brakes. But here's where the story gets real. Passion doesn't pay the bills. And for Mike, the bills were piling up. His son, Connor, called it early. The shop wasn't making money. "My dad doesn't care about the money," Connor said in one interview. "He'd restore cars for free if he could." Mike admitted as much, laughing about projects where he quoted $15,000 but spent $50,000. When Rust Valley Restorers debuted in 2018, fans fell in love with the underdog vibe. A team of oddballs, Mike, Connor, and longtime buddy Avery Shoaf, restoring muscle cars for love, not profit. Viewers assumed TV money saved the day, but Canadian documentary productions don't work like American reality TV. The cast didn't cash big checks, they earned shop wages. Even Cassidy McEown, the young metalworking prodigy who quickly became a fan favorite, revealed online that her pay was pretty average. Mike's net worth? Estimates float between $2 and $5 million, but the truth is, most of it's tied up in land and iron. Cash flow was always tight. That's why the show's most emotional moment wasn't a dramatic restoration. It was the auction. In 2022, with over 500 cars sitting on his property and no easy way out, Mike made the heartbreaking decision to let go. Over one weekend, he sold nearly everything. Some cars went for thousands, some just $100. Mike didn't care about the price. What mattered was the relief, not for himself, but for his family. "If I drop dead tomorrow," he said, "at least they won't be left with this." Would you have the courage to walk away from a lifetime of dreams, or would you hold on, no matter the cost? The emotional weight of that decision hit Connor hard. He'd grown up in the shadow of his dad's obsession, first working for Avery in his teens, then coming back to help manage the shop. Their relationship was messy, real, and strangely universal. The old-school dreamer and the numbers-driven realist. Mike once joked that Connor thinks he knows it all, but in quieter moments he called him a good kid and said with unmistakable pride, "I could have done a lot worse." Even after the auction, Mike's passion didn't disappear. Within a year, he'd somehow collected another 40 or 50 cars. "I've quit a lot of things in my life," he laughed, "but collecting cars is like a malignant disease. It goes into remission, then blam, it's back full tilt." Fans watching from the outside saw a man living the dream. But those closer knew the truth. Rust Valley was a balancing act between love and responsibility, freedom and burden. Even the fame brought its own strange challenges. On one hand, people lined up for hours at car shows just to meet Mike, Connor, and Avery. On the other, the shop faced constant pressure to deliver on-screen drama, even when the real-life business was struggling to break even. For Mike, the cars were never just cars. They were stories, memories, dreams with wheels. When he sold them, he often made sure they were going to good homes, asking buyers to send pictures if they ever brought the old machines back to life. Do you have something in your life you couldn't put a price on? Something you'd keep even when everyone else said, "Let it go"? Today, Mike is almost 70. He's scaled cliffs, built businesses, become an unlikely TV star, and weathered financial storms that would have crushed others. But if you ask what he's proudest of, it probably won't be the money. It'll be the people, his son, his friends, his crew, and the fans who saw beyond the rust to the heart underneath. That's the real legacy of Rust Valley Restorers. Not the cars, but the reminder that passion is worth something, even when the math doesn't add up. And maybe, just maybe, that's why people keep watching.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.